Hello dear friends, my name is Jitendra Bafna. I am a senior MuleSoft architect. In this video, we are going to see how you can check in your code into GitHub repository. So basically, we will see how you can check in the MuleSoft code into the GitHub repository. So GitHub is nothing, it's an online repository where you can check in or you can store your code privately or publicly. Okay, so it's one of the important step for your DevOps or CI/CD pipeline. So GitHub is capable of creating branches, capable of creating tags, capable of multiple things like. So we will see. So basically, GitHub is very useful when it comes to like your code management, like managing the code lifecycle. It's one of the important tool. And Git is nothing. It's your local utility. So whenever you want to move the code, you have to make sure like you have a Git installed on your local machine or your local server from where you will move the code. Okay, so for that you can go to github.scm.com.download. So depending on your operating system, you can download the Git and install. It's simple installation. You don't have to worry about that. It's a very simple installation. Okay, so now next thing, I have this particular code repository here. Sorry, not code repository. This is my Mule workspace. So there are multiple ways you can create a repository. So one of the ways like you can create a separate repository for each and every application. So basically, now it's depend on license also. Basically, you can create a one repository for multiple application, a separate repository for each application. But in this video, we will see how we can create a separate a single repository for all the applications, right? So the first thing, this is my git ignore file, which is very important file. So here you are saying you should not check when you are going to move the code into GitHub. You are saying don't checking this file. Okay, don't commit this file. I don't want to move this file. So basically, we generally don't move jar or and target folder of your application. Apart from that, I don't want to move this workspace files also. So what I can do, I can add those things here, metadata slash mule slash tooling apps cache slash. Okay, these are the 4 folders or any data related to this folder. I don't want to move it, so I'm giving tooling apps cache slash means whatever internal inside that folder, I don't want to move it at all. So just save it. So this should be always at the root of your application, not root of your workspace basically. Now the next thing, we will go to GitHub. You can sign up for the GitHub. Okay, or if you have already existing account, you can log in it. You can create the repository, click on this particular sign, new repository, or you can say create repository. I will say MuleSoft. Either you can create private, you can give the description like this is my MuleSoft applications. I will make this as a private. If you want to add any readme file, git ignore file, if you want to choose a license, you can select that. I will just keep as it is. Once you create repository, it will give some set of commands which you can run. Okay, so these are some commands. So we will see that. The first thing, I will create few applications, file new mule project, and I can say mule app1, simply say finish, and I can drag and drop HTTP listener. I can configure it. I will keep everything default. I can say app1. I will drag and drop set payload. Response from F1. Okay, simple. So I don't want to do anything, just save it. If you see, you can see the mule F1 is here. So now the first step, you have to always initialize your Git. So basically, if you are creating a separate repository for each and every application, you have to go inside this, just say cmd and git init inside the application, and you have to do for each and every application. But in this case, we are creating a single repository for all the application. So if you have a in case if you have a one repository for each application, okay, a separate repository for each application, you have to run the git init command here. But in this case, I will have all the application here, and I have to create a separate single repository, or like one repository for all the application. So I will run the cmd command here, and I will keep my git ignore file here. Otherwise you have to keep the git ignore file with all the application. Git init, as soon as I run the git init, it will give me a folder.git. That's the first command. The second command, you have to check git status. What are the files needs to be checking? So these are the files I need to, it's pending for checking. So you can use git add. So what are the files you need to add? Either you can say git ignore if you want to add only one file out of these two things, or you can say dot, it will add everything. The next command, commit, git commit -m. Okay, so you can say like something like that, initial commit for application 1, like this. Okay, like this you can keep running the command. Then you can say which branch. Git, previously it is called as a master branch, now they change it to main, so I will use git minus, I think it's m only, m main. Now you can say git, you have to add the repository, so git remote add origin. Okay, you can copy that url, or you can use git remote add origin. This is my repository name. You can get the repository name from here also, and this is your repository name, you can get it from here also. Simple. Now I can paste it here, enter. Now I can push my code, git push, it's -u origin, which branch? Main branch. Your code has been pushed. You will see the code here. This is my code, and if you notice, this file has not been added because here, and also .git is not added because it's already mentioned in this file. Okay, I have already mentioned, you don't have to add it. So now you can see the mule application 1 is already added with the initial comment for the application 1. Correct? So that's the one thing. Now I will create a second application, file new mule project, mule app 2. Okay, drag and drop listener, drag and drop again. Okay, let me click on this plus sign. I will quickly do the configuration, say okay, and like set payload, and I can say response from app2 /app2. That's it. Simple. Save everything. Also, I will show you something on Git. If you see, open this mule app folder, you will not see the target folder also, right? The target folder is also not added because it's in git ignore file. Like we have to ignore the target folder. So each application have a target folder which contain actually your war files and all those things. The class file, the project file has not been added because I think it's mentioned inside this particular files, dot class, star dot class, like that, it was mentioned. So it will dot class path, something like that. It will not add those things. Okay. So now I have added the mule app2. So let me check with command git status. So there is a mule app2 folder needs to be commit. So I can say git add dot. So everything. So git commit. So I can say -m, like means message, and I can say added application to enter. Now I can say git. Now I don't have to add the remote repository again because once you add it on the command prompt, it's in memory only. Okay, till the command prompt is open. Once you close it, you have to again you have to do the git remote add and that repository name. So I can say push. You can use -u, but that's fine. -u origin main. So refresh it. So now you can see your second application also. So you can see the comment for this, and even you will not get the target folder here, right? So this git ignore file is very important. So if you want to create some branches out of this, you can go and like, I want to create a dev branch. You can just write and create a dev branch. So you can see your code have a two branch, main and dev. So for development purpose, so you can create a feature branch or development branch from here, and you can check out the code. Okay, and checking out the code is a very simple thing. You so don't have to worry about that. So we can see in our next video how we can check out the code, how we can do the pull request and everything. So this is how you can create a single repository for your multiple Mule application. Okay, I hope you liked the video. If you like the video, please click on subscribe and the like button. Thanks for watching.